Hi everybody, this is Bonnie with Bonnie Bay Crochet, and today we're going to make the easy buttered popcorn baby blanket. This is a project that is worked entirely in the round. Even though this is a square, we call this in the round in the crochet world. And it features the seed stitch and the popcorn stitch worked in the round, as I said before. This is a very good project if you're a beginner and you're ready to take the next step and learn some additional stitches. These are really fun stitches to have in your toolbox. Well, and if you are new to my channel, please take a minute and hit that subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of the other projects that I have coming your way. Let's go ahead and get started. For this project, I'm going to be using Paintbox Yarns Chenille. This is a wonderful soft yarn, and let's get some stats on this. Each of these balls of yarn has 3.5 ounces or 100 grams, 131 yards or 120 meters. This is 100% polyester. And let me go ahead and show you the numbers. The multicolored is shade number 30, and the yellow is shade number 4. If you go to order this online, and if you want to order this yarn, just check the video description and I'll have a link waiting there for you. Also, the number of balls of each color will be in that video description as well as along the bottom of the screen. Now for the crochet hooks I'm going to begin with size J or 10 or 6.00 millimeter. And then I also recommend you have a larger hook, which is size K or 10.5, which is also 6.50 millimeters. I'm also recommending that you have a yarn needle for hiding loose ends, as well as a pair of sharp scissors. To begin, we're going to be starting by using our size J or 10 or 6.00 millimeter crochet hook, and we're going to be using the spotted or the variegated yarn. We're going to make a slip knot just like that, and then we're going to crochet a chain of 4 chains. After that, we're going to join in that first chain. Now obviously it's going to be a little trickier to see with the chenille, but you can feel that. Use the nerve endings in your tall man and in your thumbkin, and go ahead and make a slip stitch just like so. And again, using those nerve endings, we're going to feel for where the center of this loop is. Now if you want to make a magic loop instead of this, you certainly can, but I think the chain will be just as good, or maybe even easier. Okay, we're going to chain 1, and working into this loop, into the center, we're going to work 8 single crochets. Okay, so that I've just worked 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we're going to join with a slip stitch into the first stitch. This stitch right here was the chain 1, and this is actually the first stitch. So working under those 2 loops, we work a slip stitch. Now we're going to chain 1 again, and we're going to work in that same space as joining. We're going to work a single crochet, chain 2, and another single crochet worked into that same space. The next stitch, we're going to work a single crochet. Now in the next stitch, we're going to work another corner like we did at the beginning. Single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet worked into the same space. And you can see how it kind of starts to look a little bit square. The next stitch, we're going to work a single crochet. The next stitch, we're going to work a single crochet, chain 2, and another single crochet. and then again, single crochet in that next stitch, and then the next stitch we work another corner, single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet. Now we have one stitch left, which is right here, so we work a single crochet there. This stitch looks like a stitch, but it's actually that chain 1 space. So now we're going to join with a slip stitch to that first stitch of the round, which is also part of that first corner. So let's pause and take a look at what we have. You should have something that looks like this, which is a nice little square. All right, so now we're going to work a slip stitch to the corner. We're not going to turn. We're going to have the same front side facing us. Then we're going to, after we work that slip stitch in that chain 2 corner, we work a chain, and then we're going to work another corner there. Single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet. Now if you're brand new to crocheting and you are confused about where the corners may be, you do have the option of using removable stitch markers like this. And what you can do with this is mark the chain 2 corners, just like that. Okay, you can do that. I'm just going to use 2 just to demonstrate, but you can do that, mark all the corners, and that way it can be easier if you need that kind of help. Okay, so now we have, going back here, we've just worked our first corner. Now this is where we're going to start working the seed stitch. So what we're going to do for that is we're going to chain 1, we're going to skip the next stitch, and then we're going to work a single crochet in that next stitch, chain 1 again, we're going to skip the next stitch, which is right here, and then we're going to work into the next corner, which is a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet. Now you don't have to do this, again this is an option, but if you are using these stitch markers for the corners, it would be time to go ahead and remove this and insert it into the corner, the chain 2 corner that we just completed. Again, this is just an option. I'm not going to do this throughout, but I just wanted to show you that as something you can do. All right, so after completing that corner, we're going to chain 1, skip the next stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, we're going to skip the next stitch, which is part of that corner, then we make another corner in the chain 2 corner, single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet. And again, I'm going to just remove the stitch marker, but if you want to continue using those, definitely continue to do that. And then again, chain 1, skip the next single crochet in that next single crochet, chain 1, skip the next single crochet, which is that single crochet as part of the corner, and then we work another corner, single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet. Now I do realize I am repeating myself here, but it may be hard to see these stitches because of the fuzziness of the yarn. Depend on your fingers. They will tell you a lot of information to help you with this. Okay, so let's make the round. I'm gonna chain 1, skip the next stitch, single crochet in that next stitch, chain 1, skip that next single crochet, and then we're going to join with a slip stitch, actually, to that single crochet which was in the first corner. So let's stop and take a look at what we have. All right, so now again, do not turn, but slip stitch to the next corner, chain 1, and we're going to do this again, but we're working the seed stitch now. So and I will show you what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in that corner. Now just like we did on the last round, we're going to chain 1, skip the next stitch. We're going to single crochet only in that chain 1 space. Chain 1, skip the next single crochet, and single crochet in that next chain space. Chain 1, and now we've moved to our corner. I'm going to go ahead and dispense with the stitch markers, but again, just wanted that to be an option for you. Okay, so the next corner, single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet, and then we're going to do that around. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, single crochet in that next chain 1 space, chain 1, skip the next stitch, single crochet in that chain 1 space. Now I will say one thing as I'm going around, do not be stingy with how big you make your chain spaces. If you do, it's going to cause this project to buckle. So again, be generous. You don't have to be super big and sloppy with it, but don't, for example, don't make a chain and then pull on it a little tight, because that will just constrict the round. So be generous with your chains. So the next corner, we do another single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet. Again, chain 1, skip that next single crochet into the chain 1 space, another chain, skip the single crochet, and working in that chain 1 space, work another single crochet, chain 1, and that brings us to the corner again. So we work single crochet, chain 2 for that corner, and a single crochet into the same space. See how lovely this is? I really wish I could convey in words just how nice and soft this is. I think this is going to be a blessing to a little one. Okay, chain 1, skip that single crochet in that chain 1 space, chain 1, skip the single crochet in that chain 1 space, chain 1, okay, skip that next single crochet. Where are we? Okay, it's time to join. So now we're going to join with a slip stitch to that first stitch of the round. So let's go ahead and pause and take a look at what we have. So after completing that slip stitch, let's go ahead and we're going to fasten off, give it a chain, pull it tightly, and let's get our sharp scissors, and we're going to cut a generous strand so this can be hidden within the work, okay, at a later point. Now it's time for us to switch to our yellow yarn, but one thing very important before we do that, we're going to set aside the J hook, and we're going to pick up our K or 10.5 or 6.50 millimeter crochet hook. Those of you in the UK and abroad, please note that I give the millimeter as it's very important, because sometimes the hooks from various countries are given different letter names. Okay, so make sure that you are using the 6.50 millimeter hook. Join in any corner, and I like to vary where I join the yarn just so that I don't get a lot of bulk on any one particular corner. So you're going to see me moving around as I join the yarn. I'm going to stick my hook into that chain 2 corner, and then I'm going to take my yellow yarn, make a slip knot, and then I'm going to pull it through and then make a chain. It's an easy way to join. And then we're going to make a chain 2 corner, single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet. Okay, now we're going to work the popcorn stitch. We're going to chain 1, skip that next single crochet, and in the chain 1 space we're going to work 4 single crochets. Just like that. Pull up a loop slightly, and then we're going to reinsert our hook into that first of those 4 single crochets. Get it onto our hook and pull through all just like that, and it's going to pop out. Then give it a chain. Okay, we have formed our first popcorn. Okay, we're going to skip the next stitch, which was right here. Single crochet in that next chain 1 space, chain 1, and again, just working in the chain 1 spaces, we're going to work another popcorn. We work 4 single crochets, pull up that loop, insert the hook into the first of the 4 stitches, put the loop that we pulled up back on the hook, and pull through, and then give it a chain, and you have another popcorn. Okay, skip that next single crochet, and that brings us to our corner. Go ahead and work single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet into that space. Now we're going to work along the next side with the chain 1, skip the single crochet, working only in the chain 1 space. We work 4 single crochets, after working those 4 single crochets, pull up a loop, insert into the first of the 4, put the loop back on the hook, and pull it through just like that. Another popcorn. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, which you might not see it very clearly, but it's right there, and we're just going to single crochet in the next chain 1 space, and then chain 1 again, and in the next chain 1 space we work another popcorn. 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches, pull up a loop, insert into that first of those 4 single crochets, and you can pull this back just a little bit. If you're having trouble with your popcorns popping, it could be that you have too much of a loop behind, so make sure that that's pulled somewhat tightly. Give it a chain, skip that next stitch, and that brings us to another corner. So with the corner, single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet. So let's stop and see what we have. So you can see we're going to have 2 popcorns on each side. Now the other 2 sides are going to be worked the same way. I'm going to continue working them with you though, just so there is no confusion. Okay, chain 1, this is after the chain, the single crochet, chain 2, single crochet corner. Then we're going to work a popcorn. 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochets, pull up a loop, insert hook, put the loop back on the hook and pull it through, and then give it a chain. Skip that next stitch, which is right there, and then we're going to single crochet in that next chain 1 space. Again, if you can't see it, you can feel it. You can feel the indentations there in between the stitches. Another chain 1, and then another popcorn. And after those 4 stitches, pull up a loop, insert into the first of the 4, and pull it through, give it a chain, and that brings us to the chain 2 corner. So single crochet, chain 2, and another single crochet, chain 1, and we do another popcorn. pull it on through, give it a chain. Go to the next chain 1 space and work a single crochet, chain 1, and this is going to be our last popcorn of this round. 2, that's 2 single crochets, 3 and 4. Pull up the loop, grab that first one, pull it on through, and give it a chain. So at the end of the round, we're going to join with a slip stitch to that first single crochet of the round. Go ahead and slip stitch to the chain 2 corner, chain 1, and then we're going to work a corner there again. Single crochet, chain 2, and another single crochet. Now we're not going to turn, we're going to have the front side facing continually. We're going to chain 1, we're going to skip that first single crochet, we're going to single crochet into the first chain 1 space, chain 1, we're going to single crochet, which is on top of the popcorn, chain 1, skip that next single crochet, single crochet in between that single crochet and popcorn, chain 1, we're going to single crochet in that chain, which is the top of the popcorn, chain 1, and we're going to skip the single crochet, which is part of that corner, and we're going to go to the chain 2 and work a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet into that corner. Again, chain 1, skip that single crochet in the next chain space, chain 1 space, chain 1, and the next single crochet at the top of the next chain 1 space, which happens to be at the top of that popcorn, chain 1, skip the single crochet in the chain 1 space, chain 1, single crochet at the top of the popcorn, chain 1, we skip that next single crochet and we work the next corner, single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet. So I'm going to work this with you all the way around. Chain 1, skip that next single crochet in the chain 1 space, which is going to be between the single crochet and the popcorn, chain 1, the next single crochet is at the top of that popcorn, chain 1, skip that next single crochet and single crochet in between the single crochet and the popcorn in that chain 1 space, chain 1, that single crochet on top of that popcorn, chain 1, skip that single crochet, and then we work another single crochet, chain 2, single crochet into that chain 2 corner. So this is coming out nicely. Chain 1, skip the single crochet in between, which is where that chain 1 space is, chain 1, single crochet at the top of the popcorn, which is also a chain 1 space. Okay, chain 1, skip that single crochet and single crochet in that next chain 1 space, chain 1, don't forget the top of that popcorn. Okay, chain 1, and then you're going to skip that last space and join with a slip stitch to the first stitch of the round, which is also part of that chain 2 corner. So this is what you should have so far. We have 2 popcorn still on each side. Now this is, the next round is going to get really interesting. We're still going to do popcorn. Okay, slip stitch to that next corner, chain 1, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in the chain 2 corner, chain 1, And now this is where we're going to work the popcorn, but we're going to work them just like we did down here. We're actually going to start it the same way, but we're going to have more of them to work. So just like we alternated the popcorn and the single crochet, popcorn, you know, etc., single crochet on that round, we're going to do it the same. So each round is pretty much going to start the same way. You're just going to have more popcorns or more stitches to work as the rounds progress. So in the first chain one space, again, we're skipping the single crochet, working only in the chain one spaces. We work a popcorn, okay, remember those 4 single crochets, pull up a loop, and then we pull that loop back through and give it a chain. Single crochet in that next, chain 1 space, chain 1. Don't forget to do that because otherwise it'll pull the work. In the next chain 1 space, we work 4 more single crochets to find or to form the popcorn. Pull up that loop, put it on the hook, pull it through, give it a chain. Single crochet in the next chain 1 space, give it a chain, and popcorn in that next chain 1 space. Pull up a loop, pull it on through, give it a chain, and then we get to that corner and you know what to do. Single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Now let's pause and take a look at what we've done. So notice that we're going to now have 3 popcorns along each side. Also notice where they are formed, that they are in between the original 2. So these popcorn stitches are going to alternate as they go around. All right, and you want to make sure that that's happening on each side. All right, so again, we start with a chain 1 and a popcorn in that first chain 1 space. Pull up that loop, put the hook into that first of those 4 stitches, pull it through, give it a chain. Single crochet in that next chain 1 space, chain 1, and then we work another popcorn. Pull up a loop. I promise I'm not going to do this for every single round. I'm just wanting to make sure that we are establishing our stitch early. Okay, next chain 1 space is a single crochet, chain 1. The next chain 1 space, we'll work another popcorn. Get to the next chain 2 space and we work another corner. Single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet. Again, chain 1, and we start with another popcorn. Single crochet in the next chain 1 space, chain 1, popcorn in the next. Don't forget to pull that loop back down to make it somewhat taut against that hook before you pull it through with that chain 1 space. Single crochet, and the last single crochet along this side, or popcorn rather. pull up a loop, and we get to the chain 2 space, and we make another corner, single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet. So now we've gone around 3 sides. We just have one side to go. So let's go ahead and make it a chain and another popcorn in that chain 1 space. Pull up that loop, pull it through, give it a chain 1, single crochet in the next chain 1 space, chain 1, another popcorn in the next. So we're alternating popcorns and single crochets as we go across each side for this round. And the last one of the round. All right, let's go ahead and finish that popcorn. And then we work a slip stitch to that first single crochet of the round. Let's pause and take a look. So this is after the 3rd round of the popcorn. This is a total of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 rounds total. All right, so let's go ahead and slip stitch to that chain 2 space. Start with the chain 1, and we work a corner, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Now this is the round that we work similarly to the seed stitch, but it's actually round number 2 for the popcorn. The popcorn really is going to be reduced to repeating 2 rounds. So on repeats, you'll just repeat rounds 1 and 2 of that particular stitch. Okay, so we're going to skip that first single crochet in the next chain 1 space, chain 1, and then single crochet in that chain at the top of the popcorn, chain 1, single crochet in the next chain 1 space, chain 1, and then at the top of the popcorn, chain 1, and chain 1 in between, chain 1, or single crochet, then chain 1, and then single crochet at the top of the next popcorn. And you do want to make sure that you allow enough space in that chain 1 to work into it in the following round. Okay, chain 1, skip the next single crochet, and then we work our corner, single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet. So let me work across this side, and then I'll have you finish the round. Chain 1, skip that single crochet in the next chain 1 space, chain 1, single crochet in that chain at the top of the popcorn, chain 1, next chain 1 space, chain 1, single crochet at the top of the popcorn, chain 1, single crochet in the next chain 1 space, chain 1, single crochet at the top of the popcorn, chain 1, and then it's time to work another chain 2 corner, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. So go ahead and work that around, and I will show you the join at the end. At the end of this round, we join with a slip stitch. I'm going to show you after that chain 1 space, so make sure you chain 1 and then join with a slip stitch to that first stitch of the round. All right, let me pause here and give you some stitch counts. I haven't had to do that too much yet because the stitch counts were so few. They will be increasing though, of course, with each round. So on this particular round, you're going to have, and that's including the single crochets that are going to be worked in each corner, okay? You're going to have a total of 8 single crochets and 7 chain 1 spaces in between, and that goes for all 4 sides. All right, so now this will be the next round with popcorn. So I'll give you an idea what we're going to do here. So after we complete the next round, we're going to be going back to our color changing yarn. So let's go ahead and work this round. Go ahead and slip stitch your way to that corner, chain 1, work a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet. I'm just going to work one side since all of these sides are going to be worked the same. After you've done that with the corner, chain 1, again skipping that and working only in the chain 1 spaces. We're going to work a popcorn in that first chain 1 space, just like we've been doing when we work a popcorn round. Pull up that loop and give it a chain. Single crochet in that next chain 1 space, give it a chain. Popcorn in the next chain 1 space, pull up a loop, and again give it a nice chain. Single crochet in the next chain 1 space, chain 1, popcorn in the next. Give it a chain, single crochet in that next space, give it a chain, and popcorn in that next space. Pull up a loop, popcorn, give it a chain, and then we work a corner. Single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet. Let's pause to see what we've done. Okay, so I'm seeing a pattern evolve here. So we started off with 2 popcorns in that first popcorn round, then we have 3, and now we have 4. So we have 4 popcorns on each side for this round. So go ahead and complete round 9, and I'll show you how this ends at the end of the round. After working that last popcorn, we join with a slip stitch to that first single crochet of the round, and then we're going to fasten off with the chain. And let's find our scissors. We'll go ahead and cut a generous strand and gently pull that through. Okay, so this is what you should have after 9 rounds. Now we're ready to rejoin the color changing yarn again, and we are going to continue using the K or 10.5 or 6.50 millimeter crochet hook from this point on. All right, so we're going to join with a slip stitch and give it a chain 1, and again a corner, single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet for that corner. And then just like we did down here, we're going to work a chain 1, and we're going to work only in the chain 1 spaces. So single crochet in the chain 1 space, chain 1, single crochet at the top of the popcorn into that chain 1, chain 1, single crochet in the next chain 1 space. Again, we're skipping that stitch, chain 1, single crochet at the top of the popcorn, chain 1, etc. I'll work this across the row with you, or at least across one side, and I'll give you a stitch count in just a second here. So we're going to work across. Now notice that this looks like 2 stitches, but that's actually where the join was, and we are going to skip that stitch and go right for the chain 2 corner, single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet in that space. So let me go ahead and give you a stitch count. So we should have 1, 2, 3. Let's see, let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stitches across, and you should have 9. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 chain 1 spaces. Okay, and that's going to be for every side during this round. So we'll go ahead and I'm going to work this around, and I'll show you the join at the end. At the end of this round, we work a chain 1 and then join with a slip stitch. Let's go ahead and get both of the loops here. There you go. To that first single crochet of the round, slip stitch to that chain 2 space, chain 1, work a corner, which is single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet in that chain 2 corner space. And it'll be a lot easier for these other rounds because you're just going to chain 1, single crochet in the next chain 1 space, chain 1, single crochet in the next chain 1 space, chain 1, etc., all the way around. When you get after this single crochet, chain 1, then you get to the corners, you work a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. So you're going to work that all the way around. After working the last chain 1 space, we chain 1 and then slip stitch into the single crochet right there, and then slip stitch to the chain 2 corner and continue with the next round. So go ahead and work the next 6 rounds, and that will take you through round 16. This is what we have after completing 16 rounds. And just to be clear, I'll count these seed stitch rounds with you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds. So I've gone ahead and fastened off the multicolored yarn, and so now we're going to join again with the yellow yarn. So let's go ahead and pick a different corner again, and again make a slip knot, and make a chain 1. Now we're going to work a single crochet, chain 2, and then another single crochet in that same chain 2 space. Okay, so now we're going to work the popcorn rounds. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to start with a popcorn in that very first chain 1 space, four single crochets. Again, just like we did before, chain 1, single crochet in that next space, chain 1, and then popcorn in the next space, just like we did on the rounds previously down here. So I'm going to go ahead and work this across, and then I'll show you what I have when I reach the first corner. So let me show you what I have worked across this side. We started out with the chain 2 corner. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 popcorns, and I've made my chain 1, and then it brings us to the first corner or to the next corner. So single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet in that chain 2 corner. Then I make a chain 1, and then I begin this all over again with a popcorn in that very first chain 1 space along the next side. So go ahead and work this all the way around, and I'll show you the join at the end of the round. At the end of this round, which is round 17, after completing the chain at the top of that popcorn, we're going to join with a slip stitch to that first stitch of the round, and then we're going to slip stitch to that chain 2 space, chain 1, and then work another corner, single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet. And just like the way we worked the popcorn in this earlier section, we're going to do the same thing here. We worked that round of popcorn. Now we're going to work the round with the single crochets in chain 1. So we chain 1, single crochet in the next chain 1 space, chain 1, single crochet at the top of that popcorn. As you can see, it can be a little bit on the tighter side, so you don't want to work those too tightly. Chain 1, single crochet in the next chain 1 space, chain 1, and single crochet at the top of that popcorn. And we're just going to work that all the way around, again working single crochets in the chain 2 corner, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet when you get to that part. And as you can see, we have 8 popcorns along each side on the previous round. And so after you work this round, we're going to work another popcorn round, which is just a repeat of the same that we did here. We're going to start with a popcorn in that first chain 1 space, and then a single crochet, chain 1, and then a popcorn, etc. Again, just like we did earlier. The only difference is we're going to have many more popcorns along. Okay, so we have 8 popcorns in the first of these rounds. We're going to have 9 in the one that follows after that, and then 2 rounds later we're going to have 10 popcorns along each side. So go ahead and work the next 4 rounds, this being one of them. So this is round number 18, so we're going to work rounds 19, 20, and 21 as well. So go ahead and complete those. This is what you should have after completing 21 rounds. This is really coming out nicely. Now I'm going to give you a large assignment. We're going to repeat rounds 10 through 21 again, and then we're going to repeat rounds 10 through 16 once more. So you're going to work the seed stitch, then the popcorn stitch, and then the seed stitch section once again. And of course the numbers are going to just continually increase as you go along. I'm going to have all of that in the written pattern if you are interested in that, but if you just repeat what you've done, and again, if you need additional stitch support, look across the bottom of the screen. I'll put a time mark where round 10 begins. Just know that the numbers are going to be different. You're going to have more, but just work them in the same way. I just wanted to give you a quick glimpse of what we have here. I'll go ahead and put some other photos in here as well so that you can get a better look at this entire blanket. This is approximately 28 inches by 28 inches. Now, if you want your baby blanket to be smaller, you can actually omit these last 12 rounds if you want just a small blanket. Now, if you want to make this even larger, for maybe perhaps for a twin bed or, you know, just a larger project in general, just continue by repeating the same 10 through 21. just continue repeating these rounds. Actually, 10 through 21 would be here at the popcorn. So you can just continue those pretty much indefinitely. The math should remain constant. Of course, you're going to have increases with every round that you work. But if you should be comfortable with that at this point. Well, I hope that is helpful. Well, I hope you enjoyed making the easy butter popcorn baby blanket with me today. If you did, please feel free to comment in the comment section below. God bless. Bye-bye.